Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. It's wonderful to see everybody in the room. It's wonderful to have people on the live stream. It's wonderful to be here. My name is Jill Goldwright. I am the rabbinic intern here at Adot-Ariel, and it is my honor and my privilege to be here tonight to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate being together, to celebrate some really exciting stuff for the Marcus family, and we just have a lot of things to celebrate tonight. So let us begin by welcoming the spirit of Shabbat, which we do with Shalom Aleichem. And the idea of Shalom Aleichem is just to say that we're kind of like welcoming the angels of Shabbat, and whatever that means to you, right? Not everybody's comfortable with angel imagery, but it doesn't have to be that. It's just whatever the feeling of the spirit, the feeling of love, the feeling of family, the feeling of togetherness, all of that is kind of encapsulated in Shalom Aleichem. So it happens on page 5 of your Sidurim. And by the way, please join me in song. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's step it up a little bit. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. We're going to continue to welcome Shabbat with some kind of continued songs of joy, continued songs of praise. We turn to page 11 for Lechu Neranena, which means we're going to all get up and sing. That's what it actually means. So let me hear those voices. You don't have to stand. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, nekadma fana betoda. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, bezimro naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Please feel free to be seated. We're going to do a little bit of reading on our own, and we'll come together on the bottom of page 12. Arbaim shana akut bedor ve'amar amto elevavhem vehem lo yadu drachai asher nismati be'afi im yavun al menuchati Next page. Everybody clap with me. Here we go. Lie, 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 ya, lie, 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 la, la, lie, la, 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 lie, ya, lie, 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 ya, lie, 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 ya, lie, 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 la, la, lie, la, 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 lie, ya, lie, 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 ya, lie, la, la, lie, ya, lie, 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 la, 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 da, 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 ya, da, da, ya, lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Shiru ladonai, shir chadash, shiru ladonai koharetz, shiru ladonai, baruch hu shemo, bashu miyom leyom, yeshuato sapru begoyim, kevodo bechol hamayim, niflotav ki gadol Adonai, hula meyon, norahu, al kol Elohim, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Continue in the Siddur through page 13. And through page 14, we'll get back together on the bottom of 14. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umlado, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umlado. How does the third part go? Is that the... Let's go back to the top. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. There we go. We got through it. Awesome. Do a little bit more davening on your own, and I'll meet you at the bottom of page 16. On the middle of page 16 there is one of, I think, my favorite verses from all of liturgy, maybe. It says, Or zaruach lat sadik, that there is light that is created and sown for the righteous, for people who are righteous, and joy for people who are upright. And there are lots and lots of different melodies for these verses. The one that I want to teach you tonight, maybe, I hope some of you know it, and if you don't, you'll catch on really easily. It's very pretty. You might have even heard it at the holidays somewhere, and I would love if you would just kind of like let it wash over you a little bit. The words are both in Hebrew on page 16 and in English from the two lines from the bottom in the red in transliteration. So you should be able to join me in whatever language you prefer. And it goes something like this. Or zaru alat sadik Uyishrei lev shimcha, Or zaru alat sadik, Uyishrei lev simcha, La la la, la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Let's try that together. Or zaru alat sadik uyishre lev simcha. Or zaru alat sadik uyishre lev simcha. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la la. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, la 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 la. How pretty is that? It's really pretty, right? Good. Let's keep going. Let's do a little bit more davening on your own. We talked a little bit about the idea of the imagery of the Shabbat angels, and now we move into a different kind of poetic reimagining of Shabbat as a Shabbat bride, with the idea of this kind of elevated image of beauty and of sweetness and of the kind of the purity of the day is encapsulated in the image of the bride. And when we sing Lecha Dodi, we are welcoming that bride. Lecha Dodi means, Lecha means come, right? It's actually a command. Dodi means my love, right? My endeared one, my love. And I don't think it always has to be a romantic love. I think it's just your love for your family, your love for your parents, your love for your kids, your love for your friends, your love for the world. It's all encapsulated in this Sabbath bride. So we're going to sing Lecha Dodi, which starts on page 23. And my thinking about this is let's do the first two verses, which are on page 23, and then let's jump to the last two verses, which are on page 25. And before the very last verse, we will rise and face the door as if we are embodying this welcome and feeling the love of Shabbat kind of coming to us as we stand and greet it. All right, so Lecha Dodi is on page 23. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, bnei Shabbat nekabela. Let's do that all together. Try it with me. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, bnei Shabbat nekabela. Oh, Shamor ve'Zachor be'dibur echad, Hishmianu el ha'meucha, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Leshem u'letiferet u'litchila. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, bnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machashavati la olecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela olecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Page 25. Yaminu smol tifrotzi ve'et Adonai taritzi al yadish ben patzi v'nismecha v'nagila olecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela olecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala kam b'mizcha utzola toch emune am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Woo! You may be seated. Hopefully you're feeling a little more elevated than you were during your work week, right? A little more excited, a little more relaxed. You have the chance to breathe a little bit, right? You're not on the freeway. You're not at your computer. You're not having to return a phone call. You're just here. Feels good, right? Feels good. To finish up our kind of welcoming of Shabbat, we go to Mizmor Shir. Mizmor Shir is a psalm, one of the book of Psalms. In fact, it's Psalm 92 for the record. And it is the only psalm out of the 150 that are in the book of Tehillim, the book of Psalms, that mentions Shabbat. So even though lots of psalms are kind of integrated into our liturgy during the week, on holidays, whatever, this one always is recited at Shabbat because it's got it in the name. So Mizmor Shir is on page 27. And we're just going to do the first couple of lines. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, which basically means like this is a song of music for the day of Shabbat. And we'll do that, and then I'll let you dive in the rest of it on your own. So here we go. Start me off. Mizmor Shir, Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Is that right? Mizmor Shir, Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Try it. Mizmor Shir, Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir, Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Let's join together on page 28 in the English. Please read responsively with me in the italics. I'll start. Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered. Wise. As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear. In old age they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming, Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no flaw. So we have something really special happening this Shabbat. And from what I hear, it was all started by Sarah Marcus, who's a little bit of a rascally rabbit, who started this whole thing with her mom about how her mom should become bat mitzvah. And I imagine there was lots and lots of work and planning and discussions and sharing and stuff that came behind that. But this Shabbat is the Shabbat where we celebrate the bat mitzvah of Melinda Marcus. So I would like to invite Melinda and whichever family members you would like to bring with you. And I would like to invite you up to do the blessing over the Shabbat candles. Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to invite the Kahal to rise for Barhu on page 39A. Lai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam vaed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam vaed. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'varam aviv aravim b'chochmatei asher arim. Umavir yomum ve'laila, mavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai Sevaot Shemo, Ahe v'kayam, tamidim lo chaleinu leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari v'aravim. We continue with Ahavat Olam on the top of page 40. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Alkein Adonai Eloheinu eshofenu, Ukumenu nasiach bechukecha, Venismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'mitzvotecha leolam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, Mimenu leolamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam Beshivtecha, beveitecha, uvelechtecha, vaderech, uveshachbecha, uvekumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafo beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Say this out loud or okay, I'm sorry. V'haya. V'haya im shemoa tishmeu el mitzvotai asher anochi mitzaveh etchem hayom le'ava et Adonai Elohechem ule'avdo bechol levavchem ubechol nafshechem v'natati mitar artzachem be'ito yoreh u'malkosh v'asafta deganecha v'tirashcha v'yitzarecha v'natati iseb bisadcha le'be'amtecha Ve'achalta ve'savata hishamru lachem pen yifte levavchem ve'sartem ve'avadetem Elohim achirim ve'hishtachravitem lahem ve'chara af Adonai bachem ve'atzar et hashamayim ve'lo yiyeh matar ve'adama lo titen et yevula ve'avadetem me'ira me'al ha'aretz hatova asher Adonai noten lachem V'samtem et divarai ele al levavchem ve'al nafshechem ukshartem otam leot Al yedchem ve'yu l'totafot beineinechem v'lamadatem otam et b'nechem l'daber bam b'shiftecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha uchtatam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha l'ma'an yerbu yemenecha v'yimei B'nechem al ha'adama asher nishba Adonai la'avotechem latet lahem kimei hashamayim al ha'aretz. Okay. Don't know the tune to that, sorry.
Yasher kochech. Wow. That's fabulous. You know, the Ve'ahavta talks to us about the commandments, that we should remember the mitzvot, that we should remember the commandments. And Judaism builds in all kinds of ways for us to remember those things, all kinds of reminders of ways to remember those things. The prayer talks about inscribing the commandments on the doorposts of our house. It talks to us about how we should remember when we stand up, when we rise up, and when we lie down, that we should speak to our children, that we should bind them upon our hands, and also that we should wear physical things that help us remember about our mitzvot. And so this seems like a perfectly apt time. Linda, we're going to ask you to come back up here, and let's wait and see what happens.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
But you gotta be the mic, so you're gonna be in that mic or
Noah and I have prepared some speeches for this occasion. First, I would like to read the speech that you wrote for me for my bat mitzvah. Upon when I received my talit. I did not look at this until last Thursday. Last Thursday, I mean yesterday. And so this was kind of the first, so you guys will hear this for the first time, some of you. When I was your age, there was never a doubt that at 13, a boy became a bar mitzvah. Every boy at my Jewish school had one because it was a non-negotiable rite of passage. But having a bat mitzvah was never emphasized as an important part of joining the Jewish community. Very few of my friends were bat mitzvahed, and those who were simply had fancy parties thrown for them by their parents. There was no reading from the Torah, no participation in a Shabbat service, no talit presentation. Just a glorified birthday party. As you know, I never had a bat mitzvah. My Jewish day school teachers and rabbis never expressed the significance of this ritual for girls, so I never attached any emphasis to it. In fact, I never intended on you having a bat mitzvah either, until you began studying at Adat Ariel. Throughout your years here, I watched you learn about Judaism, its history, and its rituals. I watched you absorb all of our Jewish customs and celebrate our Jewish holidays. I watched you evolve into a vibrant, independent young lady who speaks up for what she believes in and is willing to lead anyone that will follow you. And I realized what I missed out on all those years ago when I turned 12. I missed out on being ritually welcomed into a community where I could pray with my peers and make my world a better place. As Dad and I present you with this talit, please know that it is more than just a pretty piece of fabric. It represents your link to our Jewish community and to God. It will serve as a reminder that you are now ready to perform your own mitzvot and take on the responsibilities of being a member of this community. You once told me that you liked putting on Daddy's talit because it made you feel warm and cozy. Well, Sarah, that is exactly what it feels like to be a member of a Jewish community, warm and cozy.
I wrote that?
You did write that.
11 years ago. That's pretty good, yeah.
Did anyone here notice that the content is almost entirely about how you didn't have a bar mitzvah of that speech? This is even more of a momentous occasion than I imagined when I first told you 6 weeks ago that I signed you up to read Torah on your bat mitzvah date. Or when some board members got upset with me that I didn't tell them sooner. I don't know how frequently you've thought about not having this formal ceremony welcoming you into the Jewish community. My bat mitzvah could have been this large introspective moment that only reared its head at the following Marcus and Wozniak b'nai mitzvahs. Maybe it was because you were 40. I feel like people rue the past when they're 40. I look at who you were when you wrote this, and I thought you were so involved as a mom at a dot. I always thought that my mom was like this absolute super PTA mom, capable of influencing the entire parent body because of how many people liked you. I was a random child in this community until I said, my mom is Melinda Marcus. Then I was somebody, and I knew how much my mom meant to people. Since then, I have learned about Ways and Means, sisterhood presidency, nominating committees, recording secretary, and many mishloach manot deliveries. You have become infinitely more involved in this community since your children left the day school in 2014. In our staff lunch and learns here at ADOT, we discussed that a group of people only became a community when the members share a mutual concern for the welfare of others. I have seen you make countless times since 2005 a daughter ale warm and cozy for, at this point, maybe hundreds of families. The talit you are about to receive, which is beautiful, by the way. You guys are gonna have to take a look at this, it's great. That's just the cover. It was picked by both me and Noah. It has, do you want to take it out so you can show it? We're not going to wear the talit because we don't wear the talits on Friday nights, but you guys should totally see it. The talit has the 4 matriarchs on each of the corners because we felt that you are a cornerstone of our Jewish lives and will one day be on that Mount Rushmore of ADOT women. Don't worry, you are still very young, mommy very young, and have many decades to go. I know that for boys, it was always a rite of passage at 13. Well, as you turn 40 for the 13th time. No. Don't do the math.
It's been a long week.
I hope this Shabbat you enjoy your formal welcome into the Jewish community. I love you very much. We all love you very much.
I have to follow that.
By the way, this was a surprise because he's at school at Cal Poly, so he came 3.5 hours for this. I had no idea.
3 and 40 minutes.
Traffic on Friday, yeah.
Dear Mom, I'm going to recite this aloud because I know you likely won't be able to read what I've actually written here. So I'm going to start with saying, I'm overjoyed that you've finally chosen to have your very own bat mitzvah. Wow, great. It has been such a long time coming. In all of your years of prioritizing the Jewish education of Sarah and myself, it warms my heart that you've finally taken the opportunity to focus on your own Jewish enrichment. When I see you follow the Etz Chaim and try to see how old Hebrew translates into modern pronunciations, or when I see you at the high holiday services and you turn to me and you say, you know, Noah, it's interesting that the Rebbes interpret it this way, whereas Rabbi Akiva said that, Or when I see you studying for your drash, trying very, very hard to justify how our Jewish forefathers and our Jewish matriarchs are actually decent people, I know that this is something that has been in your heart all along. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't include a quote, and Sarah would kill me if I never did. And while I'm not going to quote Shakespeare like what you did when I received my talit, I'm going to quote just as good of an orator and a phenomenal author as well, you. I don't know if you recall this specifically, but when you gave me, not my talit, but my siddur, when I was in first grade, so I must have been 6 years old at the time, you wrote, you're now beginning this is the beginning of your very own Jewish career. Now, while I can hardly say that that's the same for you, as you've been around for not a long time, but some time, sorry. I can say that you have entered this community with just as much insightful fervor as any other bar, bat, or b'nai mitzvah would. I'm really proud to be here with you. I didn't really expect to be, but ultimately I'm really here to be presenting the talit with Sarah to give to you. So Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for everything. And I know you're going to read marvelously because I already heard it.
Well, I prepared a drosh for tonight, but I'm not giving it after that. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. That was really what a blessing. Let us continue with Micha Mocha on page 44. Raise those voices up. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokeam lifnei Moshe, Zeli, Zeli, anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch, le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar, kifat Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Normally we go from Gal Yisrael to the Amidah, except at night, and especially on Shabbos night, we love to include the Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu is a prayer that asks for shelter, for the shelter of comfort and warmth and safety for us as we go on our way home. We're not leaving yet, but we're just saying the prayer now. Hashkivenu is on the top of page 45, and we'll do part of it in Hebrew, and then we're going to move to an English part of the prayer called Shelter Us. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. Vehamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wing, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Join me in the amens. Amen. 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 Now you know how it goes. We're going to do it one more time. Amen. 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 Chatzi Kaddish. No, not Chatzi Kaddish. Wait, Chatzi Kaddish? No, Vishamru. Vishamru, which is on page 46. Sorry, I got really messed up there. Here we go. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. B'nei u'b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim yasa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Veshamru Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Yitkadal veyitkadash shemei Rabbah ve'amad yivarak hirutei ve'amlich malchutei ve'chayechon uvyom echon uvchayedecho beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, veimeru. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam ulma me'amaya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudashah. Le'la min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, mihiram be'alma ve'imeru. Amen. We rise for the silent Amidah, which begins on page 47. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Kaddish Shalem is on page 54. Yitkadav v'yikadash me rabba ve'amad divrei choti ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedek kol Yisrael Beit Yisrael b'agalav izman kari ve'imeru amen Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'alam u'mol me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishabach v'yitba'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitala shemei dekudesha le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tzushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'imeru Tidkabal sloton uvot hon dechol Beit Yisrael kodesh uvahom devishmaya v'imeru Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru Oh, say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru Amen. I would like to invite at least Melinda. I don't know who else, if anybody else is coming up with you, but for a kiddush.
Just the first line, right? Let's make sure. Okay. With Savri, are we there? Or just the... Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kodsho be'ava uvaratzon hidhilanu zikaro lemase bereshit Ki yom tehillah cry kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'avav ratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. All right, thank you. Drink it all. All right. Woohoo, juice.
You want to do all in those?
Sure, that tune I know.
Great. Awesome. It's right now.
Okay, please rise for Aleinu. I'm sorry, 56. Yeah. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tek gedula liyotzeh breshit, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסד ארץ, ומושב יקרה בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשב אותה אל לבבך. כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. You say all king silently? Okay. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated.
Those words that we sing at the end, Ushmo Echad, means, and his name will be one. We've been singing about oneness the whole service, but it always strikes me that it's a little bit hard to think about fullness, wholeness, being all together at one when there are so many tragedies and difficulties and challenges and losses in our world. So we always take the time in every service to remember those difficulties and those sadnesses, to remember those we wish could be with us tonight and every night, and to remember that it is their blessings, their memories that will allow us to move forward into the world and do our part to create that wholeness. This Shabbat, the community would like to acknowledge those names whose passings are still in the 30-day period, the period of Shloshim. They are Ada Rose Parker, Michael Adler, B. Reichheimer, Malka Golovinsky, Wojtek Nekvasil, and Marcia Abelson. And also, as we go into the upcoming week, we have the following yahrzeits to hold and to remember. Molly Arif, Sonia Tony Katch-Binstock, Shlomo Jonathan, Harold Littenberg, Robert Robinson, Charles Tomares, Brent Valens, Sophie Wall, Jenia Asher, Eva Berdigoff, Harvey Greenberg, Dr. Carl Langer, William Satt, Ruby Davis, George Familian, Florence Levine, Victor Metzenbaum, Arnold Rosette, Irvin Wallen, Beverly Weiss, Anna Becker, Elia Cohen, Elizabeth Greenbaum, Daryl Jacoby Saunders, Ruth Cordish, Lawrence Porton, Sadie Shezla, Harry Spiegel, Gary Steinberg, Elaine Hausman, Lori Lopata, Annette Massler, Mary Silver, Ruben E. Spiegel, Bernard Arif, Andrew Benedict, Louis Brief, Doris Goodman, Jeanette Harris, Jean Lee, Risa Schmidt, Louis Sudakin, Rose Tepley, Donald Kravitz, Helen Frieden, Alice Iris, Carol Kapler, Alan Kay, Robert Naiman, Jacob Joel Popowitz, Edward Roseman, George Schneiderman, Harry Silver, and Beatrice Strauss. If you are observing a yahrzeit or are in mourning or would like to stand for those who have no one to stand for them, please rise and we'll join together for Kaddish Yatom on page 58. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'izman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam omei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitruman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudasha brichu. Leila minkol birchata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nehemata, damiram be'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. May the memories of all of the people we're remembering on this and every Shabbat be for us a blessing so that we may go forward into the world and create that wholeness that sometimes we don't feel, but that we always strive for. And let us say together, amen. Well, dress rehearsal done. Tomorrow's going to be magnificent. So many mazel tovs and congratulations to you, the family, the kahal. What a wonderful contributor you've been for so long and will continue to be as the newest bat mitzvah of the community. Super, super exciting. We're going to finish up. And we're going to finish up with a really beautiful version of Oseh Shalom, which was composed by a congregation in Israel called Nava Tehillah, and it's super pretty. It's the same words that we already know for Oseh Shalom, and you'll catch on really quickly to the melody. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Let's do that all again. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Hey, la 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 la. La la la, oh say shalom bimroma. Uya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Shabbos. Good Shabbos, everybody. Thank you, David Kamener, whom I forgot to say thank you to before. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good Shabbos.
Oh, this is on? Sorry. I came to Shabbat just to get naughty.